So what you're about to experience is it's probably, I would say it's a world premiere at an iOS conference. Last year at Pragma, we discovered Arkadiusz. And I would say we mainly discovered him by the amazingly smart question he was asking at the end of every session. And we've all known a random guy asking questions at the end of every sessions, but those questions were every single one, made sense and was awesome. And one of the reasons I'm in this community is because I'm always happy to not be the smartest one, be in the lower half, if not in the lower third. This guy is by far the smartest guy that I know for many, many years. I am really proud to call him my friend, Arkadiusz, and it's amazing. Last year, when I didn't want to have my Vision Pro and spend time on Vision OS anymore, he said, let me have it. And so he's now the proud owner of mine. And I'm also happy that he brought his family with him and the two sweet girls. And Dorota is amazing also. And so I'll be somewhere around here. You don't want to know how much technology is involved here. This is absolutely amazing. And so, yeah, let's start by giving him a round of applause, and then let's see.
So, hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Arkadiusz, and I'm delighted to share my thoughts with you. Today's topic is very important for me as a blind developer. However, it's all so much more than just myself. I've read somewhere that there are over 130,000 blind developers worldwide. That's 130,000 stories, 130,000 workflows, and 130,000 ideas. What you are going to experience now is one of such stories and workflows. I have prepared some material for you to see, but to fully experience this talk, I would recommend you just sit back, relax, close your eyes, and just listen and let your other senses guide you through my coding world. When programming, we are absorbing all kinds of different information about our code. Is our syntax correct? Aren't lines too long? Sighted developers can observe this information by just looking at the screen. There is no need to switch context, press additional keys, or otherwise ask the system for this information. It's all here, ready to be looked at. Meanwhile, there is information which you have to actively query for. How many occurrences of let I have in my code? Which build scheme am I running? We cannot see that right away. We have to actually do some action, perform some action to see this. So getting this information requires some passive input from the user. Now imagine that you live in a world where getting the information that was previously passive requires you to actively query for it. This would be hard, right? But this is something that can and will happen to a blind developer. Now I'll show you a little example. I hope everything works as expected.
Sessions, progress esters, content views, Pragma.
I have a little content view here. It's not a big program. I hope everything can be seen. Let me show you one thing. Oh, it's a lot of delay. I'm sorry, I need to...
Project navigate W, source, new admin struct Pragma test app. We suggest step var body, some scene. Window group var body, some scene.
You can hear it? It speaks.
Yes. Can you make the code a little bit small, bigger?
Code a little bit bigger. How do I do that? That's the...
Audio stop.
Just ignore the remarks. But that's cool. That's perfect.
Let me try this, maybe.
It's a command plus.
Command plus. Okay, sorry. I never.
Yeah.
You see?
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I learned something.
So you can tell I didn't close my eyes.
Now is it
Yeah, that's
okay?
perfect.
Okay.
Make it bigger again, and one more, and that's enough.
What should I do?
Command plus.
Ah, okay.
Thanks.
You
Great.
see?
Yeah, that's great. Perfect.
I can't see that. You've just heard. But this is very important for me to understand such things. As someone who works with other developers, with other people, I need to fully understand this kind of thing. What you've just heard is a little part of the code. And the problem with this is that I don't know. I mean, I know because I'm coding in SwiftUI, but if it were a new framework, I don't know what's a scene, what's body. Is it a property, a variable, a constant? Whatever. I don't know this. I would have to actively query for this. Because almost all developers are relying on some form of syntax highlighting in their everyday job, whether it is to catch simple capitalization errors, mismatched braces, or understanding the general code structure. Our IDEs are helping us immensely with these tasks. Red squiggly line tells you immediately that something very wrong had happened with your code. You have an error, it will not build, right? A purple coloring will tell you immediately that you are reading an attribute definition, and so on. What you are going to hear now is a part of my little sample app I have made for this talk, and since iCloud nuked it, I had to make it just before the presentation. Will you be able, now I really recommend everyone to close your eyes because I'll have a little guessing, a little quiz for you. Will you be able to spot the error, to spot the mistake, and tell me why my project doesn't build? I'll give you a little while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's go. I'll show you. I have to switch. Okay. The code is nice and broken. Let me show you why.
Xcode. Xcode. Var at state private var conference name equals.
Yeah? Do you hear that? The error is actually very, very, very simple.
Audio stop.
But because I don't have any means of understanding this, it's difficult to spot it. Don't worry if you haven't spotted this error, because I wouldn't have spotted it either. The problem is that I have written the state attribute from SwiftUI with a small letter. This can happen to anyone, I think. Capitalization errors, of course, we all know the rules, but when we work for a long time, we can make this type of error. My text-to-speech read it exactly in the same way as it would read when it would be correct. A blind developer is lacking the ability to gather information passively. It means that I have to somehow query for it. Querying means context switching, and I think nobody of us likes to switch context during their job. We all like to be productive. I hope it switched. So we have to start with the most obvious choice of an IDE for us iOS developers. It's Xcode. Most of us use Xcode to write, deploy, debug, test, and so on their code. We use it basically all the time, or we are expected to use it all the time. So let's check how Xcode performs when it comes to accessible gathering of passive information. I'll play the code snippet again. Now you can see and observe. I'll root
Session
the audio.
started. Xcode. Var at state private var conference name equals.
You
We
see?
such as stepnej zartosi.
Okay, don't worry about this. This is a bug. It says some unrelated things. But you can see the error. You can see that I have written the state attribute with a small letter. And I don't know when I'm navigating
Text var at state
through the
struct
code,
content
it's all
at
the
state
same.
private var conference name equals.
So let's try and see. Let's imagine the situation. I'm sitting at my desk comfortably, I'm drinking tea and writing code. And I want to test my app. So I press Command B.
Build. Build failed. System awk no dialog.
Build failed. System dialog. What does that tell me? It tells me that something didn't go quite as I wanted it to. I know there is a problem, and that's it. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. But Xcode gives us tools to be able to rather easily fix that. So let's try and use those tools. I can press Command +5 to open the Issues Navigator.
Issues. Var body.
Oops.
Some view.
You
At
see,
state
it
private.
didn't work. That's a bug in Xcode, and I did it on purpose to showcase. In order to open the Issues Navigator, I have to go to the Project Navigator, which is Command 1.
Project Navigator.
Then I have to press Command 5 again.
Issue Navigator. Tabula.
Yeah, Issue Navigator table. Wow, I've reached it. Now I press the down arrow.
Pragma test. 2 issues.
Oh, 2 issues even.
Content view Swift. Error image. Unknown attribute state.
Unknown attribute state. Unknown attribute state.
Cannot find $ conference name in scope.
Okay, that's another thing. But you see, I can navigate through those errors, and I know what those errors are. But now, I've exchanged snow for the rain, because I know what the error is, but I have no faintest idea where it is. For a sighted developer, it just switches through the file. You can probably see it, I hope, at least. From what I speak to sighted developers, they do. Meanwhile,
Unknown attribute state.
okay, this is an obvious error, okay? I can just find if I wrote state and there is no state, okay, I can search. But now I can press Command 5 again to go back to the code area.
Source editor. Edicjit s at.
And my cursor
Research to step at t.
is set on the S, on the small s. Now I can fix this error.
S.
And now let me read this again.
At state private var conference name equals.
It sounds exactly the same. We can't tell a difference. I can tell a difference. I have a device here. Now it's powered off. But this device, I'll try and find it, because I didn't plan to show it, but it's very interesting. This device, it's called a Braille display. A Braille display allows me to view my code in Braille. I can touch it, and I can read through the code. It connected, so now I can truly view the code. But it's a little buggy because it tells me source editor instead of my real code.
At state private var conference name equals.
Okay, now I can read the code. The problem with this approach with Braille display is that it can only show a few characters at a time, 40 to be exact. And it's one line. So I have to press the button many, many times to be able to navigate through anything. But it's good I have another error, because Xcode provides us, the developers of Xcode provide us with another way which allows us to actually find the errors in our code. This way uses the voiceover rotor, which allows basically, think of a rotor like a magnet, which can snap to the next and previous important thing. It's used in many places in iOS and macOS. You probably have heard of it because we had a lot of accessibility talks in the past. So you probably know what I'm talking about. But about Xcode,
Methods and capacity. Errors in current file.
errors in current file. Now I press the key.
Varba.
Okay, that's nice. There are no errors.
ST.
So let me generate one.
Right.
Now let me press the key again.
Text field. Text. $ conference name.
Now I can rather quickly find the error message, the error line. However, there's a small tiny problem. Now I know where the error is, but I don't know what the error is. I can read the line like this.
Space, TEXTFIELD, left quotation mark, comma, $, C.
Okay, there's a binding here. I don't know what the error is. I mean, I know, but you know the drill. In order to read the error message, I would have to, again, command 5.
Issue navigator, Pragma test, content view switch, and known attributes cannot find $conf.
And go with the down arrow to find the actual line.
Audio.
Okay, we are done with this. And now we know how Xcode performs in this. It doesn't perform well because, to recap, I have 3 methods. I can rebuild the project, which is slow and inefficient. Even if I had the strongest computer on Earth, it would still take some time. Then I can use the issues navigator, which will tell me what's the error, but it won't tell me where it is. And the third way is to just use the voiceover router. Then I know where the error is, more or less, because the line can be pretty long and I hear the whole line. But I know more or less where the error is, but I don't know what the error is about. So the problem with those tools is that they require me to actively query for this information. I cannot skim through the code and actually hear the error's position or the message about it. And it might seem like a split of a second to just open the issues navigator, find the error, come back to the editor and fix it. But in perspective, it takes a long time and significantly slows me down. Hopefully it switched. Okay, thank you. Now we have I hope that I won't be thrown down off the stage because of what you are seeing now. But we have another pretty popular editor, even in our Swift community. It's called VS Code. And it's an open source editor from the M company. And the developers of this editor are claiming that they are dedicated to accessibility and inclusivity of accessibility of their editor. So let's do a little pragmatic test in this regard. I'll try and do something a little bit different. I'll try and make a very simple app from scratch. So I'll open Visual Studio Code. I hope you will be able to see it.
I think we didn't move it to the other screen.
Okay, so next.
When we were preparing, so next display.
Okay, did it go?
You have to switch to it, I guess. You're still in full screen in preview. Yeah, we see it.
Okay,
perfect.
That's good. So now I'll share my screen with you. My sound with you, sorry.
Sessions, Visual Studio Code.
Now,
New
I can make a new little Swift app.
application. Needs terminal Swift. Create new project. Return library pack executable empty and select a Swift project empty.
What's very important? Sorry. What's very important for a blind developer is that VS Code it responds to keyboard events faster, which means that I get a response a little bit faster after pressing a key. I can hear the response faster, which is very important because, of course, when I navigate through a large file, let's say, the time that I spend waiting for the response adds up. But okay.
Macro command empty and library executably select a Swift project executably W ogno row dalage wizard row select folder crisis and now
I'll save it wherever.
Select term Swift executable zarda
And now I can just type Pragma
Zaznaxini
reader,
Zastapian
Pragma test.
DAERA.
And now I can press enter.
Term W, ogno dialogo, cancel, open a new window, open, ogno dialog, trust, yes,
Many
yes,
pop-ups, but
browse,
it's okay.
yes, globally, overview, files xbuild, Xcode, Zwini.
Did you hear that? This sound is already a passive information. I didn't have to do anything to receive it. This sound, of course, as icons require some practice to get used to, also sounds require some practice to get used to. But I was able to quickly see, or rather hear, that the build had completed. I was doing something, that the project restoration was completed. I was doing something else in the editor. I was trying to find our source file. And at this time, I was able to already hear the completion of some task, which is already an improvement.
Pragma test Swift, Posium 2.
Now let me open the file.
Pragma HT, the Swift programming lang 8 now we add main. Struct Pragma test. Static func main. Print, hello, world.
Okay, that's a rather standard
print,
code.
hello.
There's nothing to write home about. But let me write something like var test.
Test xc pragma
String
test pragma test Swift
equals
edicta text to
1.
1 error.
You see, it played a sound. It played a sound. I know right away that this line has an error. I already know that there is a problem with this particular line. A warning has a different sound. I'll try to trigger a warning. I'll write var test.
Test xc
string
pragma
equals
test.
Hello. By the way, when I'm typing, I hear auto-completion, which doesn't work in Xcode currently.
Var test string equals hello.
Oh, I did something wrong, sorry. But it's okay. I'll trigger a warning a little bit later, because now you probably may have noticed that me as a blind developer, I don't have any idea about the indentation of my project.
Audio hide.
There are ways
stop button.
that blind people can hear indentation, which is pretty important. I'll show it. Sorry, this is my first time on stage, and I'm probably doing things in a very unoptimized way. But it's okay. I hope you like it anyway. Now I'll open this little file because it's later. It's a little Okay, it can be in restricted mode, I don't care. It can be, it's a little larger. I hope you can still see it. And now I give you my sound. And let's go.
Session started. Code. Main Pragma test. Now import foundation. Import foundation models.
Actually, we were supposed to write this program on stage, but we didn't because my computer broke and this one is running an older macOS, so it wouldn't work. But I'm going down.
At main.
Arkadiusz, we don't see the left part of the.
So you don't see what?
The left part of the. You have to scroll. We don't see the left part of the
AppSwift.
of the source code.
Apps dub malpop mix.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Fixed. Thanks.
Var path. String step.
Now, when I go down, okay, this is indent level 3 or something.
Var error. Gar print.
But there is a little problem with that method. It's an excellent method. This method, pitch for indentation, was invented in the 1980s or the late 80s, early 90s, where actually the most, creative solutions for blind developers were invented. There was a device which is called an optacon, and this device allows a blind person to read text from a screen normally with their hands. This was also invented in a similar time. But this method allows me to, you see, I can hear quickly when I navigate through the screen, through the code, that, oh, I've passed a code block. Oh, I've entered a new code block. That's exceptionally useful, but there's a little problem with this.
At main.
This code is pretty small, but when I go fast,
1. Strengths of.
That's the little problem of implementation that Apple gave us. The problem is that it beeps on every single indented line. So when I have, let's say, a code block which spans across 20 lines, I hear 20 beeps at the same height, at the same pitch. Also, someone might not like this behavior, might not like sound. There's also a way to make it speak the indentation level. So this is how a blind developer can already understand the indentation level. And I hope you already understand the concept. When I skim through the code block and I hear this.
2. Potential. Let response equals try await session respond. 2. Prompt.
I know that I'm somewhere in the do statement.
Do. Let response.
Because this is do.
Do.
And this is
let response
equals
print
and so on. This is passive information. I don't have to query for it. I don't have to because previously we didn't have this. This function was introduced in macOS Ventura.
Jest 15:30.
Response equals try await session respond. Do let response let spec
sorry for this.
Let respond let.
So previously before macOS Ventura we had to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's one indent level. That's 2 indent levels. And this is my code, finally. So this method, let us
stop.
Rather quickly see our code, and this is passive information. If it were speaking, like indent 1, import foundation models, indent 2, func, async, func, main, and so on and so forth, it would take additional time. And this is actually a very fast method. But now, I'm going to show you something that's truly, truly, truly unique. Now I'm going to show you a climax of productivity of a blind developer. Let's try, because this program gave me a lot of problems on this computer, so disclaimer, things can go wrong, but I'll do my best to showcase this. Sorry, I forgot. You see, that's the problem. I had to switch. And now we are going to test how this other program performs if it comes to Swift code. I'll run it.
Search for absent audio.
It will play a sound.
Informacja ładowna się do D2.
Okay, it loaded up. This is very old. You can't see it probably, or you can.
Yeah, we still see the presentation.
So you don't
but
see
I wasn't sure if it was.
Search for
purpose.
absent commands applicate Emacs.
Can you hear?
No,
no?
you have to move it to the other screen.
I try, but it doesn't work.
Open command. Emacs. Emacs.
Now I can't rotate it. I can't. Let me try again. I'm sorry for this.
No, take it easy.
Stop.
I never did this before. I'll try it.
Yeah, you have to move. If it's the terminal, you have to move it to
No,
the
it's
other
not the
screen.
terminal, but
Okay.
this is what I plan to do.
I see things you guys don't see.
I'll do. Sorry, I'm.
No, it's actually too bad you don't see it because it's also amazing. Something's going on here in the terminal.
Let me fix it somehow. Now Emacs should be
Term Podula Visual X
running again.
Audio Emacs.
Beginning of buffer.
We still see your slides.
You still see my slides. Okay. So now, sorry, but you won't be able to see. I didn't do it on purpose. I really didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to, but it's very good it happened, because what I'm going to show you now is audio syntax highlighting. Audio syntax highlighting is a way that allows to use different characteristics of a synthetic voice to convey information to us. Let me show you how it works.
Audio
I'll load up our file. Now you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just loading the file which contains our sample code. Sorry, I'm having a little problem myself, but it's okay, we'll solve it. Okay. Let's do it.
Sessions Emacs. D. Question answer row Swift. DTK caps dot.
And listen to that.
/ question answer row dot Swift.
This is a command, and I know it's a command because when I go to
Import. Swift UI.
you see, I've made the voices a little funny so that you have something to remember from this talk. It's not practical to work like this with those voices, but you can understand.
Import. Photos UI.
Import photos UI. You see, the voice is different.
Struct. Question answer row.
colon,
View.
left, indent 4,
Let.
question, colon,
Question.
You see, I know this first question is the constant name, then it's a type name.
indent 4, at sign state,
Private. Var.
selected options, colon,
Set. Less than. String. Greater than. Equals.
left bracket, right bracket,
It reads the punctuation. I could make it not read the punctuation so that it works a little faster.
created by Arkadiusz. Set punctuation mode to none.
And we can't hear that because we only have a pair of speakers here. But Emacs uses positioning in 2D space to allow a blind developer to hear things, two things at the same time. When I go
Indent 4, at state, indent at S, T.
Private.
now, it just won't work. You have to believe me, but we have an equivalent of, you know, those little hover pop-up for documentations. It's being spoken in the right speaker while the code is spoken in the middle.
Indent 4, at state,
Private. Var.
And this is,
selected photo,
I'll stop it. When you think about it, it might sound like it's rather impractical because you have to remember all those voices and so on. But our brains are excellent pattern matching machines. And our brain's cognitive abilities allow us to remember this. And when I work with this, I'll show you on my settings how I work in my daily work.
Sweet
I'll
Nikki
enter
on
my own rate here.
set speech rate 0.9. Indent 4, at state, photo preview, colon, indent 12,
You see, I can hear right away, oh, I know that this line contains only symbols.
indent 12, indent 16,
I know that
December,
this line is empty. This is exceptionally fast. There is another problem. Now, I wish I could show you my screen, but I don't know why I can't. Which is a nightmare of most developers when I'm reading it online. Swift UI code can get very deeply nested. We can get a lot of nests. And what if we want to quickly see without sight? We want to find a matching brace. Neither Xcode or Visual Studio Code, it doesn't help us with this. Sorry, I forgot. I always forget
audio, stop,
to change the slide because I can't see this. Sorry for this. I hope you can forgive me.
I wonder if you make the preview not full screen anymore, if you can move Emacs to the next display.
I tried.
Yeah, try to move Emacs to the next display.
Emacs is an old program. No, I do next display. Maybe.
Yes.
Can you see Emacs now?
Yeah, we see it now.
Great.
Big enough? Yes. Okay, cool.
Okay, so I have a code which is yet another sample program, part of a larger code base I've brought here. And this is rather deeply
session start, Emacs,
nested.
indent 12, indent 12,
I'll
indent
slow
12,
it down.
question,
Oops, what happened?
Max, indent T, question answer, row Swift. Set speech rate to 0.5.
Okay, perfect.
Indent 11, eater.
Switch.
Indent 24.
Update answer.
Left parenthesis, value, colon, new value, right parenthesis.
You see, you've heard another voice. It's update answer. And what if I want to find the matching brace
Indent 20.
Unchanged.
Indent
this
6. Indent
unchanged
24.
modifier.
Update answer.
Column
I can
created
create.
by
You see it right away. You see there are so many voices speaking at the same time. It can be a little difficult, a little intimidating, but it can be definitely worked with.
space.
Now let me find the brace
Space. Column 21.
and see what Emacs will do now.
Right underscore, comma, new value.
in,
It tells me right away the closure, which is being closed, it tells me the opening line of the block, which is being closed with this brace. And why is it important? It is important because when you work on a large code base, which has a lot of, nested code and so on, a lot of blocks, you are not really able to see it. With other editors, you have to either count the braces or count the spaces, the indentation level all by yourself. Even if you use a Braille display, you still can't visually know which brace closes which code block, it's a practical issue. It's not some rocket science or anything, but it's a practical issue which makes programming really, really, really slow.
Audio, stop.
Let me So as you could see, we can classify information as passive and active. And most of the tools that we have available on the market make it really difficult to work meaningfully and professionally as a disabled developer. Shout out to Apple, because this year with Xcode 26.0, they've brought a feature which allows people who cannot type to enter Swift code via voice. So they can say something like, at state, private var is ready equals false. And the program will input this information. This is mind-blowing, actually. I'm so happy that another group of people gained possibility to take part in this beautiful art of computer programming. Because this is an art, and I think that we should do all that's in our power to make it accessible and inclusive for everyone. Coming back to iOS development and blind people, though, Apple is doing a mixed job on this. On one hand, we have accessible previews, which any other framework does have. But we have App Store Connect, which is a total nightmare to use with a screen reader. If I were to deploy an app in App Store, this is a true story. Me and my friend, we wrote an app which helps blind people to cross lights, to cross through the zebra. We were trying to deploy it to the App Store Connect, and coding the app was simpler and actually physically faster than deploying it to App Store Connect. But there is this app which is called Helm, and Helm makes it blazingly fast and easy for me to deploy applications to the App Store Connect. iOS Simulator, it's a nightmare to use with VoiceOver, but there is Rocket Sim, which makes it...
Arkadiusz, maybe you want to show the preview, the slides, because we don't see yours.
You don't see it?
They don't see your slide. I see your slide. Just move the slide because it's the key takeaway slide. It's the last slide, right?
It's pretty important. Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect,
sorry.
thanks.
Sorry for this. I'm still learning. And there is Rocket Sim, which makes iOS Simulator pleasant to use. So I think that the most important lesson I'd like everyone to draw from this presentation is that, first of all, line developers can write code. They can work efficiently if they are given the tools to be able to do this. If we make tools which are inclusive and accessible, we can empower many more people to be able to create great applications and experiences. And I hope that time comes when Xcode will be a very accessible, very nice IDE to use. When App Store Connect is pleasant to use from the web browser. And I hope that this talk gave you a little, maybe inspiration. If you are making your own developer tool, consider the accessibility. Before I let you ask questions, I just would like to tell you that this talk, its presentation, which was also made by myself, and everything will be made publicly available on GitHub. So you can download everything, my Emacs configuration, the presentation slides, the notes, and so on. And hopefully, the word will be spread. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. That was pretty awesome, and maybe something you cannot see in the front are the two little girls clapping in their hand as much as they can, because I think they're very proud of you. Sadly, you went a little bit longer, so we enjoyed that, but we won't have time for questions. But I would recommend you, anyone who has a question, approach Arkadiusz and be ready to have your brain explode, because there is so much power into this brain. Maybe something you don't know, like, is one of the reasons why he was wearing his headset is because he had his speaker notes playing all the time. So
yes, I was reading.
yeah. So the multi-threading capability of this brain is blowing me away. So right, thank you, Arkadiusz, again. Klaus and Co will help you go down.
Yes, sorry, I need to collect.
Yeah, take it easy. Take it easy, because anyways, I'm gonna. So while you give him another round of applause.